Oh, he ain't bad. I think it's a little mullet. He ain't so little, is he? Yeah, it's a mullet, that is. Hi, it's Constant Angler. Gonna have a go at the mullet again today. We're gonna be ledgering for them. I've got a nice big feeder on my trusty rig, which is basically a paternoster with a very short 3-4 inch, maybe 5 inch hook length. Got my trusty Drennan Specialist quiver tip. It's 10 foot. I want to be fishing in quite close here, so it's nice to have a shorter rod to do that. Sometimes it's better to have a longer feeder rod, but not in this instance. And then paired with that, I've got my Black Widow 3000 LT, so it's a bait runner reel. I've got £10 Preston reflow line on there. I think it's reflow. I'll put links in so you can see. And I've basically made the rig out of that. It's got a twizzled boom section at the bottom of that paternoster and a clip swivel that I can put my feeder or change to a weight, whichever I want, or different size feeder. And then I've trapped a little link swivel, clip swivel, quick change swivel, I think they're called, snap swivel, something like that, by Drennan, which I can change my hook length, I can change my length, I can change the poundage. But I've basically made the whole thing out of that £10 line at the moment. It's robust. It sort of matches the colour of the water in the river, a little bit peaty in this river here. And at the top I just tied a swivel to the top of it, which I've tied my main line to. So let's give it a go. I'll probably start off with a big feeder to get some bait in there. It's going to be liquidized bread with some of that tuna oil I like, or salmon oil I like. Get some scent in there and attract some fish. It's dropping tide. I haven't fished this spot in 40 years. So, but it was easy to get to. Nice and quick session because the rain's coming in a bit. Hopefully we can tempt something as the tide drops. So here's a magic ground bait. We've got just liquidized bread, as I usually do, and then I've squirted some of the dynamite bait tuna oil. If I can dig it out, I can show you this. There we go. Smoked salmon oil, sorry. The tuna oil is very good as well. Great stuff. They absolutely adore this stuff. So we'll just pack some of that into the feeder. Smelly hands, I'm afraid, but there you go, that's fishing in it. Nice big dollop of it. I can add some more oil as I go down in it. I could mix it up. I've got a bit much in there at the minute. And then on the hook is simple bread flake. You can put a dollop of the oil on if you want. It can help on tricky days, but if I can turn the camera a bit, I'll show you. Just got a little flake, just put the hook into it, trying to just feel the point on the other side. I pull off. You can see I pulled the point through a little there. There's oil on my hands, so you know, there's going to be oil on the bait, isn't there? And all I'll do is flick that out just downriver there and see what occurs. I would have preferred to fish up tide, but there's somebody down on the other arm of this, so, and I'll show you where I am in a second. Let's just get that sat right. So all I'm doing with that is just get it right, just putting a slight bend in the tip, not too much, because I want to give them as much play as I can to let the bite develop. I'll show you the rig in more depth in a minute, but let's just get fishing for the moment. I'm just going to put a slight bend in it. There we go. And I'll talk about the rod I got. So the Drennan 10-foot Specialist quiver it's got some power in the butt, but it's a progressive, softer tip. And what that's doing for me, it progresses into the 2-ounce glass quiver tip I've got. It gives a bit more room for the fish to take the bait, get it into their mouths, slows the bite up a bit. If I had a carbon tip and a fast action rod, I'd need to fish up tide with it. I'd be looking for drop back bites, which they are better for carbon tips. But here I'm looking for the opposite. And there's a lot of wind, so also it's helping with the wind, is absorbing the wind a little there. As long as my swim feeder's not moving, my flake shouldn't be moving too much. We might just drop that back a little, down a little, but you know, it is what it is, and we're going to fish for a good confident. They'll hook themselves on this rig generally. The rod will just go round. We'll see quick fast plucks. If we get several of those, I might hit it. But of late they've been hooking themselves. You don't always get hundreds of bites. I mean, this is a drop in tide, so it's far from ideal. I'm hoping fish are going to basically drop down here, find the food source that I'm putting in there, the smell will be taken down tide, so any fish that are slightly down tide might come up. And where I am here is what is an old turning bay. You know, I prefer to be fishing this on the flood, to be honest, but from what I can remember when I was younger, fish come down and they'll sit in and around here. And there's a silt bank edge there. It's very silted up now. It used to be kept clear because this used to be a wood yard right opposite when I was a kid. You can see the old buildings there where they used to store the wood. That's now obviously for boats. Times have changed. We used to get really big boats come up and moor alongside there. That's what that wharf is there. And you know, back in the days that I was a kid living here, 40 years ago now, over 40 years ago, we used to catch quite a few mullet out of here. I never fished it on a dropping tide though, so it'll be interesting. You got to go when you got a chance to go. I didn't want to keep going back the same spots and showing you the same spots doing the same thing. So although I'm doing the same thing, I'm legering. I could have trotted a float quite nicely here actually. I'm in a different spot. Yeah, I'm going to start off with a big feeder, get some scent in there, and then I'll switch to a smaller cage feeder, same size as I use normally. As the water drops, the depth drops, a less obtrusive feeder. It won't make as much noise, but at the moment I just want to get some bait in there, so I'm going to recast every 5 minutes or so for the minute anyway, just to get some bait in. You'll see a bite because the bend will build and progress, or it will be sharp. You only really want to hit it if it's bouncing around, then you can have a go. Or if you see a progressive bend or it just keeps going, obviously they'll be on the end then. One tip I like to do is take the rough bits of flake off, because the mullet will just nip at that otherwise. I'm just going to gently lob that down there. I prefer not to put it in exactly the same area. If I was fishing long range, I'd have to clip up because it would just be too far away from anything, wouldn't it? But personally, I like to have patches of bait around the place so the mullet are moving from one spot to the next, and that way they're more hookable. Put a bit of a bend in it. Yeah, we're fishing unfavourable conditions at the moment, but you never know, do you? You got to fish tides you don't expect to catch on to see if you can. If you're like me, you can on a tidal river. I get to go when I get to go. So irrespective of the tide, height, size, state, I got to go when I go. That's better. The wind's blowing into it this way, so I'm fishing into it. So let's have a closer look at this rig then, shall we? So this is a rig that is working for me currently. So I've got a swim feeder. You can put a lead or whatever size swim feeder you want on there, because if you see, and it can focus there, if I put my hand behind it, you'll probably see better. I've got a snap swivel trapped in a loop here, and this is actually a twisted boom section. You might be able to see that a little bit closer. So I've twisted this, and then I've tied a figure of 8 knot at the top in the whole thing, and then that traps that boom section, stops it unfurling. And then what I've done is I've put a Drennan float stop up above it, facing this way, as basically a buffer bead there. Now if I bring this a bit closer again now, just up from it, currently probably, I don't know, from the swim feeder about 12 inches, I've trapped a Drennan snap swivel between 2 more of those float stops. It's quick chain swivel or something they call it, and if you see, I pull that bit of plastic back on it, it's got a loop, and I can loop on and off my hook links. If I do that properly, just be careful to put the rubber right over it, not half over it. Just have a look on the back of my screen, see what that's filming like, and I can move that up and down. So if I think they're getting away with it, I can move it down closer, so the weight, the influence of the weight, the feeder or whatever, hooks them quicker. Or if I think they need a little bit more to hang themselves and I want to slow the bite a bit, I move it further away from the lead. on there I've got a short hook length. This is about 4 inches long. I've got a figure of 8 loop knot at the top, and then I've got the knot they use, they call it a no knot or hair rig knot, and a Drennan Alkalite. That's a size 10, that one. Alright, yeah, size 10 Drennan Alkalite hook, barbless hook. Now these are circle hooks. Now you need to tie them with this hair rig knot. Now all I've done is, where you'd normally put your boilie on here, on this spur that comes off, I've just chopped it short. But it's like a snail knot basically, and that enables these hooks to work properly because they've got an outturned eye. Interestingly, I had trouble with fluorocarbon, and I think it's that is causing a weak point somewhere, or it was snapping. So what I basically did was I got this 10-pound Preston reflow line, I think it's called. I will put a link for you. And I just made the body and everything out of it, and it's actually my main line. And because of the colour, it seems to work on this river, because this river is a little bit peaty, so it seems to blend in, and I'm catching mullet on it, so it's working. And then a little bit further up, I've just got a swivel. That's a little size 10 swivel, something like that. I'm not sure of the size. I'll put a little picture for you again, which I've tied it onto my main line. So you can make these up at home, put them in a packet. I use a little rig board for my hook links, my short hook links, so I've got them ready, tied and ready to go. If you want to change hook size, maybe you want to fish smaller baits or bigger baits, you can just by clipping it on and off. Then excellent. I'm finding it works for me at the moment. I have other ideas about these circle hooks. I'm going to try longer hook links, see if they'll hook themselves even better, but we'll see. Let's carry on, put some more bait in there and see if anything's willing to have a go. So every 5 minutes now I'm going to be rechucking the feeder, trying to build something here, it's a good lump of liquidized bread. It's going to get traction in there. It's not going to feed the fish a lot, so that they'll see my big piece of bait, hopefully, or that's the plan, and they'll think, oh, I'll have that. I'm going to keep it in this tub. I'm not a match angler, because I can close the lid on it and I don't get problem with dogs then. There's very few places I can actually fish that you won't get trouble with dog walkers. It's fair enough, you've got to walk your dog, innit? I'm all for people using the river. If they use the river, they'll see when people are doing things they shouldn't do, won't they? Let's just flick this one a little further out and down, and it makes a nice big splosh. And it's got fewer holes than my Drennan cage feeders, which is what I want at the moment. I want it to get, while the water's a reasonable depth, I want it to get down there. I have to sort this rod rest out. There we go. Yeah, we're pretty much waiting for that rod to bounce away and go. Oh, that looked like a mullet over there. I've just seen a swirl here, just a bit too close for a cast, actually. Oh, that's a good sign. Maybe, just maybe, we might get something. Yeah, there's definitely a fish of sorts there. Ah, fingers crossed that wind's dropped. That wind stays away and we might get lucky. Hook something. Don't want it that tight. Oh, that. That's the advantage of one of these rests. You can move it back or forward a slot just to tension. You tip a bit more. This one you can pull the ends out and twist them, so you can put them at the angle of what your rod is fishing. You can put them to the vertical if you want, or whatever. I mean, oh, damn it. Oh, got some in. Yeah, got one, whatever it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, he ain't bad. I think it's a little mullet. He ain't so little, is he? Yeah, it's a mullet, that is. Bread. Yeah, I still got it. Bread. So he hooked itself, really, yeah. Oh, he ain't bad, is he? I thought he was little. He's not huge, but he'll do. Let him play himself out. Hope he doesn't come off. They're very good at getting off. I'll say that now. Oh, he's alright, isn't he? Oh, I'll catch him on this tide. There's some following him as well. I saw some flash behind him. He's okay, actually. You see the flash alongside him sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
There's another fish or two there. They're shellfish, and I put the net in, they'll all disappear, but so often you see quite a few of them follow. Oh, just... There's a lot of fish here actually now. Yeah, it's flashing all over the place. I think there might be mullet and bass just dropping down.
Is that easier to see with the
Let's get this right.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that helps. Massively helps, doesn't it?
It really does, doesn't it?
He's got a mullet.
Oh my god!
I'm trying my best to get... Oh, I haven't caught it yet. Yeah.
That's true, has it got away?
No, he's still on. They're very adept at getting off. Now he's in the net, he doesn't want to know, you see. So I'll have to play him a little bit longer. Woo! Come on, you devil.
Oh man, it's not going to eat them. Don't worry.
No, they don't taste very nice up here. Come on. He might get away yet. God. No. Yay! Let's have a look. Let's watch it with this net handle. Hey, it's decent one. Good 2.5 pounds, maybe. Actually, could be. He's nearly 3, maybe. If I pop it down on this soft bit of grass, it's a. It's a mullet.
Don't let it jump in.
I just lift it up.
Good looking fish.
Oh, he's well hooked. I'll have to get the discorder.
Is he down his gullet, yeah.
It's not that far down, but there you go. Alright. That's would you take a picture of it in the net for me?
Yeah, of course.
So much easier when someone else is here. You're trying to do it all yourself, it's hard work.
Dada.
If you want to touch the fish, they're very slimy and they're smelly, so you might not want to.
Do you want to stroke him?
You can. They are.
Lovely and smooth.
You want to wash your hands though, so they will smell. There you go. Just put him back then. You just got to let them rest a bit now. You've got about fine.
These ones don't taste so good because of
No.
the heat.
If we caught a bass that size, it'd be very
Oh
nice.
yeah. Oh yes.
That'd be a different thing, wouldn't it?
You're just letting him kind of just sort of stay.
Your wrist smelling. Oh well, I'm smelly now. That's the end of it. Cheers, buddy. That's great. Well, I'm surprised. I didn't think I was going to catch it, did I?
I do miss that smell, to be fair.
You've done a bit of that yourself for mullet fishing. They are very smelly, aren't they? They are in the rivers. They're not so bad in the sea, funny enough.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing, isn't it? They taste better in the sea, and you just got to let them recover a bit.
Sweet.
He's breathing well. Well, let's just have a look. He might want to go yet, but if not, we'll just keep it in the net a bit longer.
He doesn't want to go.
He will. They just got to... There he goes. Quick catch up. So we got one fish. Oh, about 2.5 pounds, and I'm going to bite at the minute. I mean, I can't leave the rods in out for long even. We're catching on that ledger rig. We're catching lots of small bass as well, unfortunately, but we're catching them in the scissors because of the circle hook, so they're going back easily. Yeah, and I'm expecting to catch more mullet. The tide's dropping down further and further and further. Sorry, I keep watching the rod too. So hopefully we keep putting the smell in, the ground bait in, and it'll attract them. Really happy because I've got another little spot I used to fish when I was younger, and I'm catching on the ledger, whereas I probably would have fished it on the float when I was younger. That would work as well. You've got a lovely little trot here. You could probably catch more on the float, I think, but I'm sticking with the ledger for today. As long as there's some bait left on there, we're still in with a chance. Because it's a very small tide, what I call a neap tide. So you're going to have more water here than you would on a spring tide. A spring tide would drop right down. I mean, low tide's not till about up past 6, and we've probably got a good 2 hours or more of the tide to go yet. But I'm hoping more and more fish will come down here as the tide drops. As I say, it's a place where I've seen them sort of holding off of here before. There seems to be an area like quite early in the year as well. Oh, yeah, got him. Whatever it is. Yeah, it's a little bass, I think. A little bit bigger. But it's a school bass. Unfortunately. Perfectly hooked. Again, if you want to have a look. There we are. So you do get a few of these, unfortunately. We're not after them, but it's good to see them in the river. That's a positive thing, isn't it? Yeah, little fish that. Yeah, got something. That feels a bit bigger. Oh, it's a little school bass again. A little bit bigger one, that's all. It is, isn't it? Or is it a little mullet? It could be a small mullet. Yeah, it's a small mullet, actually. We got a little mullet. Alright, at least we got one. But that was on, wasn't it? I couldn't not hit that. Oh, you can see that down there. He's in the net. About time. Oh, yeah, he's only a tiddler. But it's what I was after, so...
What are you after?
Mullet.
Okay.
That's a little baby one, this one.